So what gives you the confidence that this time, if you go up, it won't be like 2009 when you'll come straight back down the next year?
Well, 2 years ago we finished our restructuring of our financials, which took us some 6 years to do, and it was a very difficult financial restructure that was probably caused by the start of the ITV digital collapse in 2003. And the pain of that collapse probably rippled through this club for 7 or 8 years. Now we have a ship now that is firstly full of good staff, very capable staff. It's a vessel that's very solid. It has no debt. We have no bank debt, no overdraft, and apart from some director's loan, we have no other liabilities. And it's capable of sailing. It's a fit ship. It can sail anywhere, and we've never had a fit ship that can sail anywhere since I've been a chairman. 3/4 of the ground have been refurbished. We've got some great facilities here at Priestfield. We're looking at a new stadium. We've got a potential site we're working on now. Looking at the Swansea model again, if you look at the change of stadium. I'm not saying a change of stadium brings success, but it's amazing how many clubs that have built new stadia have gone on and had success as a result of the uplift it gives the whole sort of football business as well. I mean, you can look at Hull, you can look at Middlesbrough, you can look at Bolton, you can look at a whole number of clubs that have gone down that road. Swansea, of course. So I think that we have a very fit ship, and I think we can pretty much sail now wherever we want to sail. And providing we can keep everyone focused and we can keep the belief, and we can stay out of debt and we can stay out of any harm's way, I think we have capabilities to go further than we went in 2000 when we first went to the Championship, which was the first time in the club's history then, of course.
So you think you could sail to the Premier League?
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, I do. Not necessarily in this stadium, but as I say, we are working towards a new stadium, and with that could come success on and off the field, more success. And like I said, if you look at, 7 years ago, year 2000, we played Wigan at Wembley. 1999 we played Man City, the famous game against Manchester City. We played Wigan the following year. Both those clubs are in the Premier League now. One's got a very wealthy backer and one's got a less wealthy backer. But people would have laughed at Wigan being in the Premier League, or Bolton or Blackburn, probably 15 years ago. And they have been there, or Swansea,
Is the new stadium vital if that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could get to the Championship and comfortably sit in a Championship in this stadium. But I think if you've got aspirations to be a good Championship side, a consistently top-end Championship side, and a side genuinely capable of having a go at slipping into the Premier, which everyone's entitled to do, and that's all out. It's the aim of everyone in football is to have at least a season in the Premier, taste that gold for one season. Then I don't see any reason why not. We've got 250,000 people within a 5-mile radius of this football club. 1.5 million people in Kent. There's no Football League club in Kent. People have to go up to West Ham or Chelsea or Tottenham to see their Premiership football, or Arsenal. Now I know that if they had an alternative, in the fullness of time, they may consider that alternative. But there's never been an alternative in 100 odd years here in Kent. There's never been a Premiership football club.
How quick could that master plan come to fruition? What's the soonest Gillingham could be playing in a new stadium?
Well, I think the process of actually getting permission will take about a year, from probably end of the summer. And once we get approval, if we get approval, and I see no reason why we shouldn't, if it's a properly devised scheme in conjunction with Medway Council, I think construction could start pretty much straight away thereafter. So maybe 3 years.
So what's your dream for Gillingham 5 years down the line?
Premiership football in a new stadium, really.
How would you describe your relationship now with the fans here?
Okay. I mean, I've been 18 years. I think generally speaking, I've had 18 good years and a couple of hairy moments that every chairman goes through. But, I understand that football is an emotive business, and I'm probably more upset by it than anyone when we get beat. I've tried psychotherapy, physiotherapy, every sort of therapy to try and work out what I do on a Saturday night if we lose a game of football. I've tried going out, I've tried not going out, I've tried talking to people, not talking to people, been on my own, not been on my own. I haven't got a solution. I'm a terrible loser. And the fans are just the same. They feel it as much as I do. And I think this sort of concept that the chairman's a little bit distant to the fans in his emotion is in football generally. I think they think, the they're up there and drinking their champagne and eating their prawn sandwiches, and they don't really understand it all. But I do understand it all because I was a fan for a lot longer than I've been the chairman for. And you know, I've tasted the delights of success, and I've tasted the despair of failure. You know, 3 promotions I think, or 4 promotions I think, 2 trips to Wembley, the old Wembley, 1 trip to the new Wembley. Fabulous days, you know, days that you can't take away from you. But there are bad days, you know, we've had some bad days. I've had the whole stadium chanting, "We want Scally out," you know. And my dear old mum, who's now died, unfortunately, I looked along and she was also chanting it, not realising what she was chanting. And it was like, when your mum and dad are chanting it as well, you know you've hit rock bottom at that time. And they're difficult days, you know, you go home feeling pretty bad and people chuck things at your car, and, you know, it's not good, you know, bad days. But the following week you go on a 2 or 3 or 4 game win running, and everyone loves you again.
There are some fans who suspect that you don't have Gillingham's best interests at heart. Perhaps, do you feel you should have been more transparent over some issues?
I'm sure if you know, things that have gone wrong, if I go back, I'll probably do them differently. But that will be the same with anyone in any part of life. You know, if you get married and then you get a hostile divorce from your wife, you probably wouldn't marry her again the second time round, would you? But you know, we learn from going through life. But that's not just a chairman's experience; that's life experience. I think there, you know, I can remember my previous businesses. There are ways I treated certain people that now I will probably treat them differently. But I think that comes with experience and age and time and whatever else. And you know, but at the time, it seemed the right decision at the time. I don't think there's a single person could come to me ever and point to the decision I've made, having understood the whole ramifications of the decision and why I've made them, and challenge and criticised why I did that particular thing at that time.